because they take money from one big money bag to get into office. When they get into the office, they cannot do what the poor people want from government. Because the big man that gave them money will tell them, give me this road as contract. And when you give the big man this big road contract, he will not execute that contract. He will eat the money. This time around, especially people from the oil industry who are from Edo and the oil and gas industry, and the University of Benin, called me after presidential election to say, Mike, this time around we see Nigerian people looking for somebody who has integrity. Therefore, we want you to step forward and contest the governorship of Edo State. I said, okay, I'll think about it. Until after a while, I called them back and said, okay, let's see what God has for us. I am here with you, my leaders and my elders. And I can tell you, it is not difficult to make the lives of people better. What is difficult is that so many people who are in leadership cannot stand the temptation of money. Once you bring most people you call politicians in front of money, they forget all the promises they have made to you. Because what they see is the next election, and that they need money to do the next election. But I'm promising you, I am not a politician, and I'm never going to do that. If you support me, and I emerge as governor of Edo State, I will tell you one thing very simple. I want to tie this road. I'm an engineer. I know that granite, limestone, bitumen that you mix with the granite to form your asphalt to tie this road, all the raw materials are in this state. But how come the governor cannot tie the road even after he has promised this? Number one is because he's giving out the contract to tie this road, he's using half of that money to tie the road. Number two, he does not know that the equipment to tie this road, government can own it. Number three, he does not know that the granite and the bitumen, we have the knowledge as engineers to extract it from the soil. 13 years I worked in the oil and gas industry. We are extracting petroleum. How difficult it is to get bitumen. We have bitumen in Edo State, and we have granite in Edo North. A lot of it in Edo North. So with engineering knowledge, the cost of tying that road that they told you is 1 billion, Comrade Engineer Mike Osho will tie this road with 200 million or less than that. This is the promise I am making Edo people. Number two, a lot of our youth have no jobs. The other politicians have said so. But ask them, how are you going to give them the jobs? For me, it's not difficult. When Osho became governor the first time, I was working in the United Arab Emirates, very close to Dubai. I was working in a shipyard, and I had 3,000 Indians and Pakistanis under my supervision. When I came back, I met that Osho had won the election. I went to Osho had won before I traveled, but Osubo was now governor. By the time they declared him, I was back. I met him at Yamuria. I told him, I said, Irama, let us build a seaport at Gelegele in Benin. With that seaport, we'll be able to bring in so many things into Edo State, and whatever we are producing in Edo State, we'll be able to sell. Where I am working is a seaport with a shipyard. Shipyard is where they build all these heavy ships. I have the knowledge of how to build all this stuff. If I am governor tomorrow, I am not going to bring technical experts from anywhere. If I want to execute any project, as the governor, I go there, I help them to do the feasibility studies, and I help them to execute that project. Done at the lowest cost possible to Edo people. And someone told me, well, that project will be too expensive. Let us concentrate on tying roads and the rest of them. Now, the youth who have left this place, we are going to create jobs for them. If I'm going to construct road in this Auchi, I'm sorry for Central Coast. I'm not going to bring Central Coast to tie this road. I'm going to do it by direct labor. The youth from this community will work on tying this road. I will give them employment as a result. And if I am tying the road and the ones working there, they are going to create problems for government. Is that correct? Number two, what does it cost to build houses? Why can't government build houses, especially for the youth? Return them from the city centers back to rural areas. so that these Fulani herdsmen can no longer drive our mothers away from their farms? Is it not because the youths are not in the rural areas that our women cannot go to the farm? My stepmother was almost raped at Elele. I cannot forget that experience. What does it cost to solve the problem of insecurity? We return the youth back to the rural areas. We build low-cost housing for them, not inside Auchi, but in locations where we go tell them, say, oh boy, this number of hectares of land, government is going to give you, not big tractor, it costs so much money. Power tiller, 450,000. I will buy a youth